Good morning. My name is Vince Gibson, and we're here this morning, to talk about a subject that most people don't want to talk about, or don't even want to hear about because it's too horrible of a subject. That subject is law enforcement officers and suicides. Law enforcement officers suffer from PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder. Is it real? Yes, it is. Does it exist? It certainly does. And does it kill? It most definitely does. So many officers in our nation have died by suicide. In the year of 2008, the statistics show that 141 law enforcement officers in our nation died by suicide. Many of these officers had 10, 15, 25 years on the job. And after their funerals, they're not even honored by their department and the memorial wall in Washington, D.C. In the year 2012, the statistics show that 126 law enforcement officers died in our nation by suicide, and to this very day, not one of them has ever been honored for their service. And this is a total disgrace. In Philadelphia alone, in the year 2010, 5 Philadelphia police officers died by suicide, and sadly, my brother Joseph is one of them. My brother, Detective Joseph Gibson, badge number 8105, Philadelphia Police Department, is a 15-year veteran of the Philadelphia Police Department. On December 26th of 2010, my brother Joseph was supposed to work the 4 to 12 shift. When he didn't show up at South Detectives, where he was assigned, a patrol car from the 5th District, which was in the Roxborough section of Philadelphia, was sent to my brother's home on Henry Avenue. My brother Joseph was found dead in his home. It's been 3 years since my brother's funeral, and I'm still battling the city of Philadelphia and the Philadelphia Police Department to honor my brother's 15 years of service. The sad part is, with Philadelphia, all they care about and all they worry about honoring is the line of duty deaths. And yes, when an officer dies in the line of duty, they deserve to be honored, and their name should be placed on the memorial wall in Washington, D.C. But sadly, that's not the case with officer suicides in our nation. Many of these officers died by suicide either before they went on duty or after they came off duty. And it's at an epidemic rate, and this is something that has to stop. In years past, there was no treatment for PTSD. And in fact, police chiefs and commissioners in our nation often said that PTSD doesn't exist, that the trauma that these officers see every day of their lives doesn't exist. Well, the truth is, what these officers see on the street every day of their lives comes from the trauma that they see, which leads to PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. And the sad part about all this is that these officers suffer from this, from the traumatic incidents that they see day after day, incident after incident. And sadly, some of these officers wind up taking their own lives, and they are never honored for their service to their department, their community, and to law enforcement. This, I feel, is a total disgrace. Today, there's many law enforcement groups that are doing studies on police suicides. And a lot of these organizations do great work with police suicides and the studies and the statistics. And they're trying to bring more and more awareness every day to make a change in this. When a law enforcement officer walks out the door when they report for duty, we, their families, don't know if they're coming back home. We often wonder at the end of their tour of duty, will we see our dad, our father, our mother, our brother, our sister, or our cousin that's a law enforcement officer? We just don't know. Because in the line of duty, they could die at any given moment. But these officers in our nation have lived an honorable life. They served with honor, and they deserve the honor and respect as a line of duty death. People ask me, why am I fighting? To get my brother honored. My one simple answer to them is, my brother dedicated 15 years of his life to the Philadelphia Police Department and to law enforcement. After my brother's funeral, Police Commissioner Charles Ramsey was on national television one night on Fox 29 and says that we honor our own. Well, Commissioner Ramsey, my question to you is, you say we honor our own. What about the 5 Philadelphia police officers in the year of 2010 alone that died by suicide? Neither the Commissioner's Office, the City of Philadelphia, or the FOP has done anything to honor these officers whatsoever. And it's a total disgrace because they dedicated their lives to law enforcement. In 2007, I wrote something for my brother. And he liked what I wrote. Now I'm going to read it in my brother's memory, but there's also a part that I added to it. The original part of this, what I wrote for my brother is, police officers are people who have answered the call of law enforcement. They serve and protect the city of Philadelphia and the communities we live in. And these officers are excellent role models for our young and impressionable children. But some of these officers died in the line of duty, and they must never be forgotten. And there are also the active police officers who died by suicide that deserve the same amount of respect and honor as a line of duty death. When these officers die by suicide, they are abandoned by their departments. They are abandoned by the memorial wall. And in fact, within the past 7 months down in Wisconsin, there was a sheriff's deputy. Her name was Rebecca Sina, I believe. She was on duty in uniform and answered a call. She was shot and killed by her husband while on duty. The law enforcement memorial wall refused to put her name on the wall because they said it was a domestic disturbance that she was killed by her husband. It took the Wisconsin state legislators to write to the board members of the memorial wall to get her name placed on the wall. How dare the board members refuse to honor this woman? I often wonder to myself, why do I have to fight to get my brother honored? Why do I have to battle the city of Philadelphia when they should stand up and do the right thing and honor every single officer, no matter how they died? These officers should be remembered for the way they lived their lives as law enforcement officers, not the way they died. And it's sad because departments, all they do is remember how the officer died. And it shouldn't be. These officers deserve the utmost respect. To the board members of the Memorial Wall in Washington, D.C., would you want to stand in my shoes? You say the names of the officers who died by suicide don't belong on the wall. Would you want to walk in my shoes every day of my life, knowing that my brother Joe showed the honor? But because Joe died by suicide after 15 years of service to law enforcement, can you hear the heartache, the tears that me and our family have cry every day of our lives? You say the names can't be added to the wall because they did not die in the line of duty. Can you listen to the stories of the family members? Can you hear the tears of the families? Can you hear the tears of their children? Can you hear the tears of their mother and father? Can you hear the tears I cry every day? Can you hear the voices of these officers? Have you ever seen a picture of these officers in uniform? We, their families, have watched them report for duty every day or night as they walk out of the house. We know that there's a good chance that they may not come back home to us. Can you bear the heart we feel at their funerals and the tears that I cried? Can you bear to watch the families of these officers cry in the cemetery? Can you walk in my shoes every day and carry this in your heart every day of our lives? How dare you, board members, abandon these officers? They served with honor. Their names belong on the wall. When do you stand up and do the right thing and honor every single one of these officers? It's bad enough they were abandoned by the departments. And with some departments, they don't honor them as a line of duty because it becomes a problem with where they have to honor them because it becomes a